Hi. You're not going to see me in today's live stream because I have a lot of stuff going on in my room right now. We're getting ready to move into my new place, so I got a lot of stuff everywhere. It's a mess in here. But I figured I'd come on for a short little reaction live stream. Hi, everybody coming in. Hi, Daisy, Luana, everyone. It's so many people coming in, all the same. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, Miss Ray Ray. Alright, guys. So, obviously, you guys are all here because you guys all know I put on Twitter Jaclyn Hill has officially returned to YouTube. Hi, Diesel. Thank you, Ashley. No, Christina, you're not the only one. I purposely blocked the camera off. I'm pulling it here for the tea. Because my room is a disaster. Because we're getting ready to move into my my new place. And just nothing is set up. So I figure I just do a blank screen. So hopefully you guys don't mind. Nope, you're good. Everything's good. I'm glad you got notification, Diesel, because that's not happening for everybody. Not everyone's getting notifications on anything. My life is a disaster. Well, I'm sorry, Chloe. Mine is too. I got a purple screen. Ooh. Sweet. So far, how many of you guys have seen Jaclyn's video? If you haven't seen it yet, you're not gonna understand at all what I'm talking about. And honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's... I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not worth watching because I don't want to, you know, I don't know, persuade people against watching it because I think everyone should watch it and form their own opinions. But watched it, commented on it, comment got deleted. Alright, so for those of you who do not want to watch it, I mean, it's about 19 minutes long. I took some notes so I could kind of hit everything in order that she talked about. There are a lot of comments going really fast, so if I don't see your comment, I apologize, but hi to everybody. Okay, so here we go. So the video is just over 19 minutes long. And like I said on Twitter, I have very mixed feelings about it. Because on the one hand, I understand that she's trying to make a comeback. I get it. But after what has happened, I don't see how that's going to be possible. And I don't think people are going to take this comeback well, I guess is the best way to describe it. I just don't see it going well for her. Obviously, I don't wish any ill will towards her. You guys, if you've been here on my channel for a while, you guys know that I've been, I was a supporter of hers for a very long time. A very long time. And, even during the vault situation last year, I still tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and, you know, whatever. But this just, ugh, guys, it just, I don't see how anyone could speak for 19 minutes but not really say anything. You know what I mean? Like, at least nothing with substance. But she managed to. People would have forgiven her. Yep. Yeah. And I agree. That's true. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, I'm trying to read all the comments. I don't want people to think I'm ignoring them. So if I don't get to your comment, I apologize. But yeah, so the video was 19 minutes long. and it was a lot of speaking with no substance, and that kind of just, it got to me. And I can see that she was uncomfortable. She was, you know, playing with her hands a lot, like fidgeting around. Yeah, I get it. um I'm sure being in her position, it's a very hard thing to do, especially given the situation, but it's a situation that she created for herself. um because this, like you guys have pointed out already, this is her brand. She is no longer able to sit there and say, even though she kind of did, I'll get to that in a second, um, she can no longer say, oh, well, you know, it was this brand, you know, this, they didn't have this in line, or this has happened, or this person didn't do this, or this. No, this is your brand. Um, and you, now that it's your brand that's in the middle of this situation, you have to take ownership for everything. It, everything. No matter what, it is your brand, and you are responsible for making sure that everything is run the way it should be. What next? She mentions deleting all her social media accounts. So for a lot of time, there was speculation that she only deactivated the accounts, but now she's saying that she deleted them. There's no apps on her phone, nothing. Um, there was one comment I was trying to read and it went by too fast. But she mentions that she deleted everything. So she has no social media accounts as of right now. She got rid of all of them. Um, she mentions that she wanted to have open communications. That was, that made me kind of like giggle a little bit. Hi, Cora. Um, because open communication would have been helpful in the first few days, um, of this whole thing being brought to the light. Open communication would have been amazing and when this whole thing first happened, and I don't think things would have gone down the way they did had she truly been openly, communicating with everyone, like, hey guys, I see what everyone's saying, I see, you know, I'm seeing your concerns and everything, but this is what I'm doing to take care of it. Instead, she, yes, it will, Aaron, it'll be posted to my channel. Instead, she decided to kind of just ignore people, or be shady with people, retweet and like different tweets promoting the products, saying that the products are good, which, whatever, you know, it is what it is. That's her choice to do that. But it made her look very immature, in my opinion. I thought it was very, it wasn't a good look for a brand owner. You don't ignore things like that. Um, yeah. And you know what, Catherine, that's a great point. People always want to say, you know, and I saw that's one of the comments I had just seen too. You guys wouldn't, you know, you guys wouldn't do, you wouldn't be able to do any better as brand owners. But that's the thing. As consumers, I mean, she's a consumer too. You know what I mean? She's a consumer. At the end of the day, she started off as a consumer. So she should know differently. She should know better than to do what she's done. But you know, it's, what has happened is now in the past, so now I'm focusing on this new beginning apparently she's going to be having. All right, so what else did I write? She goes into saying, I built my entire relationship with you guys online. I love you guys. You guys have gone through so much with me. I value you guys. And I just, the entire time she was saying those things, I was like, but you don't though. Like, as of the last few years, I have not seen someone in her who values her supporters, who values the people that she, that made her who she is essentially today. I've seen selfishness, I've seen lies, continued a pattern of lying, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, I have been a fan of hers for a very long time, and I've told that to you guys so many times, and I'm pretty sure you guys are probably tired of me saying that, but I really was a real big fan of Jaclyn, of her work. I thought she is incredibly talented. There's no lying. I'm not going to sit here and lie about the girl. She is really talented at makeup. She is. But at the end of the day, This is not about her makeup skills. This is not about anything except the fact that she is now a brand owner, and the way she treated her brand and the way she treated people after a failed launch is terrible. It's terrible. Um so that's that on that. Um oh yeah, no, that I know for a fact. People can be in denial when failing. Absolutely. I mean, I cannot sit here and call her out for it and not call myself out. It's happened to me before. You know what I mean? Like, not this, obviously, this scale, but you know, you don't want to own up to you failing at something initially sometimes. You know what I mean? It hurts. It definitely hurts. To have to admit something like that. But it's something that you have to deal with and understand. Listen, if I'm gonna grow as a person or as a brand, like Jaclyn is trying to do now with this new video and trying to move forward, um, she's got to take ownership of it. Kim, you're kind of right, but things happen. That's not making her a bad person. But Kim, I understand where you're coming from, but you failed. I don't know if you acknowledged this in one of your comments before, but I'm not mad at her for anything else besides the fact that she did not handle this the way she should have. She acted unprofessionally. She's been acting unprofessional for a very long time. A very long time. There's a pattern of repeated behavior. And it stinks to see that. And like I said, I don't wish her any ill will. I wish her all the success in the world in her future endeavors. Will I be purchasing from her brand again? Absolutely. Well, again, I only purchased a palette from Morphe, her collab with Morphe. I never purchased lipsticks. That was divine intervention happening. Will I purchase from her? Most likely not. But that doesn't mean that I wish her negative things to happen. Not at all. Okay, so she mentions that influencers, there were some people who backed away from her for the last few weeks during that launch. She does thank the people who kept in touch with her as far as creators. I'm gonna ignore the messages for a second, guys. I'm trying to get through this timeline, so I won't keep you guys here for too long, and then I'll respond to different comments. She says she didn't want to get on camera and pull the beauty YouTuber card where she's wearing a hoodie and crying. That seemed kind of shady to me. Obviously, we all know that there have been quite a few videos done in the community in which people were wearing gray hoodies and crying on camera. The first of which, obviously, was Laura Lee, so I thought I kind of giggled at that a little bit. I thought it was kind of shady. But at the end of the day, she didn't mean for it to be that. Maybe that's just me giving him benefit of the doubt. But I thought that was a little bit shady that she said that. She said that she didn't want to get on camera and cry. She cries. Which I get it. I understand. And then she finally gets to the point. This is about like halfway through the video where she says, I completely failed. My launch was a failure. And I was like, that is the first honest thing I have heard her say about this situation. That is the very first honest thing I've heard her say about this. And I'm glad she mentioned it. I'm glad she finally admitted to it, because for the longest time she was saying, you know, my lipsticks are great, you know, I don't see how this is going to be happening. And for a long time, you guys saw on Twitter, some of her exchanges were very, very rude and oftentimes cocky. But to ooh, writing a book, I could never do that. I don't have the patience for that. So more power to you. Hopefully you get it finished, and I hope it's amazing. But I was so happy when I heard her say my launch was a failure, because like I said, that was the first honest thing she had said about her brand. I understand it. When it's your brand, like we've said before, you don't want to admit when something's going wrong, or you don't want to admit when something that you're so passionate about is going down the toilet so badly. You don't want to admit it. You want to kind of ignore it and just hope that it'll breeze over. And she says that allegedly people were telling her on the back end that she should just let everything fall where it may, and be, you know, be quiet about it, let it all breeze over. I'm glad she didn't take that route, although a lot of people, including myself, um, I really expected her to take that route. I'm glad she didn't, because I feel like, even though I don't think she's gonna have a comeback, the comeback at least that she wants after this, if she had truly ignored everything and just kind of, if she just ignored everything and didn't even mention it, and came back all of a sudden, you know, out of nowhere, and hey guys, you know, here's my videos again, here's my makeup tutorials, and this is this and this is that, and another Morphe collaboration coming out, and here's this and this and this, come buy Morphe, that would have been so, like, she would never be able to live that down. And she has a lot of work to do, because she has a lot of trust to gain back from people. There's a lot of people that are just like, nah, I'm done, myself included. I just, I don't see myself supporting someone like that. But like I've said many times already in this conversation, I don't wish her any ill will. Okay, moving on. She mentions that she had gotten cocky about her brand. She absolutely did. She was very cocky about her brand, almost to the point where she was offended that people were even mentioning that there was something wrong with their lipsticks or their products. Mentioned that she didn't have a large enough quality control team. There was no quality control team. Clearly, there was no quality control team. Because had there been a quality control team at all, I don't think any of this would have happened the way it did, or at least not to this extent. She says that she has done a lot of firing and hiring. She's going to be relaunching with a new team and a new lab. She also mentions, and this is where I was kind of like, annoyed. She says that she trusted the wrong people. That was kind of her way of kind of like trying to push it off on somebody else. I trusted the wrong people. You can't, no. No. It's not, this is your brand. I understand that, you know, with a brand you have a team. You're supposed to trust your team and have a team that's there for you, who wants to work with you and wants to see you thrive, but just mentioning that I trusted the wrong people, that could have been left out. I wasn't involved enough was another big red flag for me. I wasn't involved enough. She mentions that she spent so many years working on this project and wanting this for so long, and she says, I wasn't involved enough. How could you not be involved in this? P.S. guys, Aurora is here in her little crib next to me, so if you hear some baby coos and caws, she is here next to me in her little crib. I haven't put her in her room yet. Or her pack and play, not her crib. Now she's standing up in her crib. Here she goes. It's okay. Hold on, guys. You're gonna hear my bed. My bed's really creaky. Come here. Come here. I know you want to talk about tea too. All right. So, where was I? She does say that it is her brand. She says over and over again, it is my brand. It's my responsibility. And says that she's gonna do better, and I hope she does do better. You know what I mean? What? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna give her to my cousin 1 second so I can finish this live stream. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. 1 second. Alright. Sorry, guys. I had to be a mom for 2 seconds. So, alright, so where was I? My bed's really creaky, so it's... Okay. Alright, so it says here, I mentioned that she trusts the wrong people. She said she wasn't involved enough. That should not be happening. If you had so many years to plan and work on your brand, you should be as involved as humanly possible. You should be over involved. You know what I mean? Like, that is your livelihood. That's your baby. Literally, this is something that you've thought up and you've had ideas for, and you trashed ideas that didn't make any sense, and you created new ones inspired by those. And it's like, how could you let this go the way that it did? You know what I mean? It just was so sad. So she's going to be relaunching with a new team and a new lab. I know a lot of people have been mentioning, and I've even mentioned it myself, that the former lab that she was working with is allegedly one that's near my house. And I had a plan to go over and investigate things, but before I do anything, because it's not only that whole thing, that the video I have planned, it's not only about Jaclyn so much anymore, but there are some other things I wanted to talk about and kind of expose in this lab, because there is a history with this lab. I'm still trying to find out if there's any hard evidence, irrefutable, beyond a shadow of a doubt proof that this was actually a place that was involved. If it was, this lab has been clocked so many times by previous employees. The reviews on Yelp are gross. And there have been a lot of reports of, like, animals running around stray and things like that. So I have ideas. I have an idea for a future video. I'm not sure how soon it'll be up, but my plan is to do some investigating on some other things. So there's that. But that lab has been talked about, and if this is the lab that was used, I can understand why things went the way they did, because some of these reviews are gross, disgusting. So she mentions that she didn't watch any gossip videos. That's interesting. Very interesting to me. Not interesting in the fact that, I think she's lying. I don't think she's lying. I think that was a good thing, for her to stay away from them. I'll try to answer these questions. Luana says, shouldn't it be public knowledge which lab a company uses to produce their cosmetics? Yeah, and it pretty much is. It pretty much is public knowledge. You can go look for it. I just haven't had the time to, with the move and everything. But with my sleuthing skills, I'm sure I'll find something. But anyone could find any information they want to. The internet is awesome. I've been looking into some court cases actually involving Unique that I'll be talking about in the next few weeks. So if you were to call them, would they confirm? That, I don't know. There is a level of confidentiality that needs to be upheld with any business, which that's, you know what I mean? Like, that goes without saying with every situation. I'm sure they have NDAs lined up with each brand they do work with for situations like that. But there are ways of finding out which lab a brand uses for the creation of products. So, yeah, there's a lot of legal things that kind of, muddy the waters a little bit, but at the end of the day, you should be able to figure out which labs create products for which brands. It's not easy, but it's not impossible to find out the information. So, yeah, so I'm looking into that lab. It's, like I said, down the street from where I live. So I'm interested in going and seeing for myself what the lab looks like and doing some investigating myself. Yes, Catherine. Catherine said, remember when Marlena was like, it was super unprofessional when the lab said they were working with Jaclyn? Yes. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are a lot of things that, I mean, not only by the lab, that have been done by the lab and Jaclyn, both together, that have been deemed unprofessional by anybody, any working professional. Um, but like I said, I'm going to do my best to find out what I can about this lab, because even if this is not the lab that Jaclyn worked with, it's still a lab that needs to be investigated, because the reviews alone, if you guys go look at them, they're awful. And there have been a lot of things going around, so you can find the articles on it, but it just I'll talk about that in a later video, but I don't want to be too long on this. Shouldn't the lab have the... Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, Catherine, that was one of the things I want to look into, and also I wanted to look into, because one of the claims Jaclyn had made specifically, yeah, Dakota, pretty much. But Jaclyn specifically said that the lab she had worked with, and this is all alleged, I'm going to protect my ass, obviously, allegedly, the lab she had worked with, if it was this lab that I'm going to be looking into, the lab, as far as cleaning the vats, it was said that people were using cotton towels, which makes no sense whatsoever. Professionals have ruled that out as a complete fabricated lie, completely. And then it was also said that the employees who were in charge, I forget what she said they were in charge of, but I think it was just the packaging. As far as packaging the product into the boxes for shipment, I think it was. I may be wrong, correct me if I am. She said that they were using white gloves, and that's the reason why there's white hairs. Well, even if there was white hair, if they were wearing white gloves, it makes no sense, because I'm pretty sure the lipsticks would have been closed by that time anyways, if they're being put into the boxes. So it doesn't make any sense what she was saying, you know what I mean? So there are a lot of things I want to look into, and that being one of the main ones. And this lab actually was very open about them being the ones that she had been working with. But at the same time, it doesn't make any sense why they would be so open about it. And this is the big question I have. Why would this, if this is the lab that she worked with, and it was true, and there was no doubt in anyone's mind that it was true, why would they out themselves? You know what I mean? And so that's the reason why before I do anything, I want to make sure that this is true. Because the last thing I want to do is get on camera and, tomorrow and drive down to the lab, which I could very easily do. But, that's funny, Dakota. The last thing I want to do is, go do a vlog video and ask questions about things that don't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not true, I don't want to accuse anybody of being involved in this, because this isn't a good thing. This launch has not been good for anybody involved, whether it be the lab or Jaclyn. Customers especially are the ones who got burnt the most, because obviously they spent their hard-earned cash on it. Even though they got refunds, it doesn't matter. These people, when you pay for a product, especially for that price, you're paying for quality. And what was given to customers was of the lowest quality, and that's just the truth. And I know that, we've beat this fact down. It's a dead horse at this point. We know the products were shit. We're trying to understand why, because we haven't been told the truth at this point. We've been told so many different things, and then when those things get called out, we're told other lies, to cover that lie. You don't have to remember things when you tell the truth. And that's something I wish Jaclyn would understand. If you don't lie, you have nothing you have to remember to cover your ass. You know what I mean? Yes, Coach. Yeah. Alright, moving on. I've talked about that long enough. Sorry, guys. But going back to the gossip videos, I don't like that she called it gossip. I mean, I guess that's what it is ultimately, but I know that the integrity of gossip channels or tea channels or drama channels have been called into question in the last week, especially by James Charles. During that sit down that he did with, I forgot who it was. Kingsley was one of them. I'm gonna do my own little spa night chit chat, I think, sometime this week talking about that, because I have some things about that I wanted to call out. But I know that the integrity of drama channels and, you know, the related channels that talk about, you know, the happenings in the beauty community and elsewhere, they've been called into question. And the one thing I want to say is this. I understand that there are some channels that you should not be trusting. I think we all know who those channels are. John Cookian is one of them. I don't give a fuck. I'll say his name. He is no one to me, and you shouldn't trust him. The more recent one that's gotten attention is, you guys know, you know, the one who lied about fake drama with someone else. That person. Because those people try to fabricate things and fabricate lies. But every other channel here, I have a level of respect for, because the one thing that I've realized being part of the community, whether it be, you know, a main part or a small part like I have been lately, I mean, I'm no one in comparison to everyone else here, is the fact that, to me, what I see from them is they just want to call out the bad shit that people do in this community. And James Charles especially is one of those people who has gotten himself in a lot of hot water, especially lately. And I understand that some people feel like everyone's biased some way or another to some person or some, whatever the case may be. But ultimately, drama channels and commentary channels alike call out what needs to be called out, and they bring the receipts. And that's what needs to happen. Holding accountability is what needs to happen, because I think Thomas Halbert said it best. No one else is holding these influencers accountable, and they run rampant like nothing's wrong. And so I got a hint of saltiness from Jaclyn when she mentioned that she didn't watch any of the gossip videos or gossip channels in regards to the situation. Maybe that's not her intent. If it wasn't, it wasn't, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, like I've said in many videos prior to this one, if you don't want to be called out for doing something shitty or saying something shitty or just being a shitty person in general, there's a very simple thing that you could do, and it's just not to be a shitty person. It's not to do shitty things or say shitty things. And so it, to me, was kind of like a slight slap in the face, where she was like, I didn't watch the gossip videos. Like, what was being talked about in the videos was fake or fabricated. But it's not. People were talking about a relevant situation that was happening in the beauty community, and it needed to be talked about. It needs to be talked about. There are so many things, especially when you lie about things. Why shouldn't you be called out for lying? It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. You know? And especially as consumers, a lot of us, the channels, are consumers. We buy products all the time. I mean, I haven't lately, but we want to know the truth. And if we can if we can influence our, you know, followers and say, hey guys, I tried this product, something doesn't seem right. This is what it is. This is what I got from using the product. And if the brand is being shady, we're going to call it out. There's nothing wrong with that. It's being honest. It's being honest to you guys as our followers, as people who give us the opportunity to sit here and talk to you guys and make money. A lot of people in this community make money. This is their livelihood. And so I see no reason why people would lie about things. And I feel like Jaclyn tried to, in a weird way, try to make it seem like the gossip channels, like air quotation marks, were just making up things out of their head to make things worse. But they were not. You know? And I've watched every drama channel's video coverage of the situation, and I have seen nothing wrong with anything they've said. I haven't. They haven't given any sort of, you know, I guess untrue statements. I haven't seen anyone making anything out of nowhere. No one's fabricating receipts on the situation. Everything you've seen as far as coverage from every drama channel so far has been honest. They're calling out what needs to be called out, and as consumers, we deserve that. We deserve to have people tell the truth when the people who we're buying the products from don't want to do that. They don't want to tell us the truth. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. But like going back to James Charles, it just, that conversation he had at the table kind of just, ugh. It was gross because he loves to use the drama channels when he needs backup or he needs someone to come into his corner. But when he, he's getting read and called out for doing something shady, then he wants to be like, oh no, they're trash, they need to go. No. That's not how this works. Alright, moving on. She says that she became obsessed with stalking social media after the launch, and that is the reason why she decided to ultimately delete all her social media accounts from her phone. And again, she did say that she has no apps for social media accounts anywhere. She deleted all of them because she had become so obsessed with stalking everything about social media. So that was her stay on that. What else did she say? I know I'm supposed to have my own brand. This is her destiny. She said that she knows for a fact that she's supposed to have her own brand. So she's not going anywhere. Homegirl sticking around for the long run. I don't know how well it's going to work out for her in the long run, to be honest. But she made it very clear in this video that she has no intention of just disappearing into the night with nothing else to say. So expect a relaunch. She did say that she has, what did she say? She has product ideas in the works with new labs. So that expect that. Oh, and the last thing, she publicly apologized to the first girl who talked about the poor quality of the product. I'm fairly certain that she had apologized prior to this, to that girl. If you are wondering what I'm talking about, there was one of the first people who brought up the poor quality of the product, as far as Jaclyn's lipstick in the launch and everything. She was talked to very nastily, and Jaclyn said that was not her intent. She has to be better and learn to be better as far as talking to customers or talking to people as a brand owner, which I highly agree. But she says that she reached out to the girl privately and talked to her, and the girl did accept her apology. So that's that on that. I hope that Jaclyn does take some time to, learn how to be a brand owner and know how to talk to people when they don't like your product or they have a problem with it. It's not like the girl didn't like the product. She purchased it for a reason. So it didn't work out because the product was of the poorest quality. And like I said earlier, when you're spending that much money on a lipstick for a primary launch, an initial launch for that matter, things need to be, I don't expect it to be a perfect launch. I don't expect that at all. I never expected it to be, everything is perfect and daisies and rainbows and unicorns and all shit. I didn't expect that. You're gonna have hiccups, that happens, but I don't think anyone thought it would go the route that it did. So ultimately, my thoughts in the video are this. I don't have any ill will towards her, but I don't think this is going to go the way she thinks it's going to if she continues with this, a new revamped brand. I I've seen some people mentioning, you know, on Twitter, I think it was today actually, to be specific, someone was saying, you know, if you choose to buy from Jaclyn again and something else happens, that's on you. You know what I mean? Do I think this is going to happen again? I hope not. I really hope not. And if it does, then that's the Lord or the universe or I don't even know, someone telling you, don't do this again. You're not supposed to have a brand. But I hope she's successful in her future endeavors. I, again, wish no ill will towards the girl. But this video was a lot of talking with no substance. Nothing was addressed. There was no, you know, talking about specifically what had happened. But at that same time, I can understand maybe she felt like, okay, well, there's no point in me saying anything else anyways because, like, there's no one's gonna believe me anyways. So, exactly, Chloe. And you know what? Love to love them. I personally just don't think that she should be touching this brand right now. At all. I think she should stick to YouTube for a little bit longer and just leave the makeup alone for right now. Get everything in order that she needs to get in order. Actually take time and I don't know, attend a college class on business and business management or something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell her. But I don't know what to say. I'm so conflicted about this video because on the one hand, obviously, you know, everyone's going to say she apologized, leave it alone, stop it at that. But it's like, ugh. You didn't even answer any questions. And whether that be because she knew that people wouldn't, you know, believe her or whatever, what have you, I still would have said, you know what, look, this is what happened. I messed up, and she did say that this was my brand, it was a complete failure, that's this and this and that. But it's like, it was 19 minutes of just circle talking in circles, saying the same thing in different ways, basically. So I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Give me your thoughts. I'll read some of the comments and respond to them. Myra, yeah, I agree. She is damned if she does, and damned if she doesn't either way. So, what accountability actually occurred for us to believe anything will change? I think the reason why this video was done the way it was because it's up to the viewer to decide whether or not you can trust her after this. And I know people are going to have their different thoughts and everything. And you know what? She's not going to lose any support. She's got a lot of supporters still. So, did she give any answers to any of the issues? No. Well, kind of. She did say that she wasn't involved enough. She said that she trusted the wrong people. So she kind of tried to pass the buck on someone else as far as blame. But she didn't really say, this is what happened, this is the truth. And like I said a few seconds ago, that may be because at this point, she knows no one's going to believe her anyways because of how often she lied. I wonder if she legally could not talk about everything. I think that's one of the reasons why she didn't say anything to Kyle. That's a great point. Audra says, I think if she hadn't run away from the problem, this whole thing would be different. But she acted like a child instead of business. Yeah, ultimately. Absolutely. She let down some of her biggest fans. RL, 100%. I've said that over and over again. I said it so many times, I supported her for so long. Even through the vault situation, through all of her mishaps with Morphe and Becca and everyone that she collabed with, I was still like, oh, you know, maybe next time, maybe next time, maybe next time. And then I realized, especially with the vault situation, it's a pattern of behavior. It's a pattern. And it's, I don't know. Where the hair, yeah, Van, I understand. She could be an alien making crop circles while at circle talking. I'm sorry. It was funny. She has the ability to have real business professionals at her disposal to help her do it right. I don't think this is an excuse moving forward if things don't go right. Yeah. Absolutely, Cooge. Passing the buck is her MO. Jazzy, I thought she said before she was part of the whole process. Now she says she wasn't. And that's what I mean. She's bragged so much about how involved she was for so long and how this was her baby and so on and so forth. And now she again is saying, you know, I wasn't involved enough in quality control. She did say quality control. So I don't know if she meant as a whole or if it was just quality control, but she does say in the video that she wasn't involved enough in quality control. So she could have been involved everywhere else completely, but kind of ignored quality control as a whole, which clearly. Woo. She is free to say that she's not able to comment, but didn't. Yeah. She could still have won had she handled it differently. She knows way too well that we as consumers, what we expect, perfection. Yeah. Yeah, and that's ultimately what the issue is. She needs to stop lying. Stop lying. Just be honest. You know? And that's all anyone has wanted from her this entire time is just honesty. Don't lie. Don't fabricate shit. Don't over exaggerate shit. Just be straight up. It's not like people aren't going to understand or they're not going to, you know, I don't know, be okay with it. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all have things happening. But when you lie about it all the time, it's like, what do you expect people to feel like? How do you expect people to be okay with it? And there's been a lot of back and forth and just inconsistencies in her stories, and especially with this launch. It's like, if you don't lie, you don't have to remember anything because you know the truth. And the truth is the truth. There's nothing to remember. But it's been lie after lie after lie after lie, and it's like, when is it enough? You know, your subscribers, people who got you to where you are, they deserve better. They deserve so much better. Yeah, but Tatanka, she doesn't mention the lab that has come forward. I don't think she gave the name of the lab in that video. I did watch that video. It was a very good video to watch. But she doesn't mention the exact name of the brand, so I'm not sure if that's the same one. If it was, then, you know, that's interesting. But yeah. What questions do you guys have? What would you guys have wanted to be answered in this video? If you watch the video, what questions do you think she could have answered? And I want these to be, you know, legitimate, valid questions, not just being snarky or being rude. What legitimate questions? Because I may use them in an upcoming video. Has anyone been refunded? Yeah. That's definitely... She did say that she refunded everybody. Everyone. Regardless of whether or not you had a good experience. She refunded everybody. Giselle, that's an excellent question. Because some people had found metal pieces on camera. Influencers, big name influencers, had found little metal pieces in their lipsticks. These things should have been addressed. They absolutely 100% should have been addressed. And that's ultimately what I wanted her to talk about in the video, although it may be, you know, a legal thing. Maybe there's litigation in the works at the moment between Jaclyn and someone else, or whatever the case may be. Maybe she can't legally speak on it because of litigation. But that was what everyone wanted to know. What the hell is up with the foreign objects, especially the metal? That's dangerous. These are all really good questions, guys. I'm going to be grabbing a couple of these. I'm going to have this video up on my channel for you guys to watch afterwards, so if you came in late, you'll be able to go back and watch them, and I'm going to be screenshotting a lot of these questions. How many of you guys were supporters of Jaclyn? Press 1 if you were a supporter of Jaclyn. 2 if you have not been. I just want to see how many people, excuse me, or like me. 1 if you supported her, 2 if you have not. Not right now after this. If you in the past have been a longtime supporter of Jaclyn, I would be considered 1. For a very long time, I was a supporter of her. So there's quite a few people. Quite a few people. It's unfortunate this happened the way it did. It really is. Yes, Poppy. That's a great question, because I know people were questioning the timeline of the production of the products, which is a valid question. It's a very valid question. Sunshine 1411, I agree. And you know, that's the problem with me, is that, you know, I still want to support her, but she lies so much, and she has lied this entire time, and that's the reason why I find it hard to support her after this. I agree, Alexia, I'm sorry. We do make mistakes. Absolutely. It's how you handle yourselves when you make those mistakes that makes a difference. My Alexa just activated when I said your name. Yeah. Author, excellent point. It is, and that's what I said in my last video on this situation. I think it was gross negligence. Absolutely gross negligence. That's just my opinion, obviously, of seeing things. But the fact that, number 1, it wasn't recalled. These lipsticks should have been recalled so long ago. The very moment all these reports started flooding in, those lipsticks should have been pulled off the website immediately. Immediately. There's no need to keep a product that is clearly having issues on the website. People are influencers. It's not just people that she has no idea who they are, who are just customers. These are big name influencers who were making videos of themselves inspecting lipsticks and finding metal shards, finding little hairs and what have you on camera. And still nothing was being done. Yes, and the Instagram profile that was made for her brand, they were making me so mad, because they would be asked by different customers, are these safe to use? Just because a product is found to have no microbial issues in them does not mean they're safe to use, especially when there is obviously foreign objects in the product that should not be there. That includes hairs, metal shards, plastic balls, whatever the case may be, it may be safe as far as, you know, microbial infections or whatever you want to say, mold or whatever. But it's still not safe because there are foreign objects in the product that should not be there. They are contaminated. Contamination doesn't always mean there is mold. It can mean that there are some things in the product that should not be there. It's contaminated. And the fact that the brand and Jaclyn herself failed to, you know, admit, yes, they are contaminated, that made me upset. You know, it made me very upset to see that. Christina, that's hilarious. I don't think she will ever address Christy's video. Christy's, I think, was the one that blew up the most because I think she was one of the first ones to put it on camera, the inspection. So, but I don't think she ever will talk about this. I'm pretty sure this is the last time she's going to mention the situation. I don't see her touching on it ever again. That's her choice. Do I think it's a good idea? No, because they're, like you guys are seeing, you're seeing right now in front of, excuse me, in front of your eyes, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered still. So, yeah, Christie's was the first one to really be damning. Very damning. And you know what? It goes back to the fact that these were big name influencers. You know what I mean? Who were doing these inspections. It wasn't like they were just, you know, any willy-nilly on the street. These influencers, this is their job to review products. And they went on camera. You know what I mean? Angus, if you don't like me talking about it, just get off my live stream. It's very simple. Bye. Yeah, Shay did a great video. I agree, Windy City. I'm only going to be on here for a few more minutes, guys. It's kind of late. But do we ever get a Q&A with CEOs of big companies? You kind of got one with, I forgot who it was. What was her name? The one who did a sit down with Lime Crime. I think it was Leisha, right? Didn't Leisha do a sit down with Lime Crime last year? That was the first. No, it was, I'm pretty sure it was X Sparkage and Lime Crime. Oh, Jay Kissa. Yeah, I'm sorry. Jay Kissa. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Jay Kissa did a sit down with Lime Crime's new CEO. And it was very cringy to watch. I don't like Lime Crime. Actually, one of the first videos I ever did on YouTube was me talking about Lime Crime. That brand is, ugh. There's a reason no one really talks about them. They have a long history of just awful things. But yeah, so I've seen some people sit down with big CEOs, but I don't think we're gonna see one with Jaclyn. I really don't. Like I said, I don't think she's gonna be talking about this after this video. I think she's gonna move on from this as best as she can. Lime Crime was the original beauty drama, yes. The previous, not previous owner, well, she was. The founder of Lime Crime, that's a whole new, maybe I'll do a revamped video on that, because, yeah, it's a very long story. There are so many things wrong with the founder of Lime Crime. So maybe I'll do that video first if you guys are interested, because my first one was cringy. So I'll redo it because I do think it needs to be talked about, because one of the things that kind of bothered me about Jay Kiss's video was, I don't know, it just, the questions were very, it seemed like it seemed like the questions weren't very, how do I say this? She didn't ask the questions that should have been asked. And unfortunately, no matter what the brand tries to say, Doe Deer is very, very much still part of the Lime Crime board. So, no matter what, you're still, dealing with Doe Deer, and she is a terrible person. That's just my opinion on it because of what I've seen her doing in the past. You'll see. I'll get everything put together in a video for you guys here pretty soon. But that brand is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Doe Deer is terrible. For example, before I go, I'll tell you this. Doe Deer decided to, for one Halloween, dress up as Hitler. And I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, she, thank you, SV. I'm pretty sure she justified dressing up as Hitler because she said that someone in her family was Jewish? I forget. But she justified it with something that didn't make any sense at all. But yeah, she had a whole, I have the picture in my video, I'll get it again. But it was just distasteful, Wendy, yeah, she does. She's on the board of Lime Crime, if I remember from J Kiss's video. She's on the board of Lime Crime still. She attends meetings, like the creativity meetings and things like that, so. I don't know about Lisa Frank. I have no idea. Oh, thank you, Van. Thank you so much for your donation. I have no idea what happened to Lisa Frank. I think T by Ali was working on that video in that series. I didn't really dive too deep into it. But I know there's a lot of weird things going on there that she was going to work on getting exposed. And that's the thing. That's another reason why I heavily fuck with drama channels. It's all about telling the truth. Exposing the truth, telling the lie. Yes, Van is an MVP. But drama channels just want to tell the truth, and that's what it should be about. It's holding brands accountable, holding influencers accountable, and I know that's not, it's not our job to do that, but I feel like as consumers, we want to do what we would want done for us, you know what I mean? We would want someone to tell us, hey, this brand owner is very shady, they are, racist or sexist, or they don't move in a good way, they're being shady. So that's what I see drama channels as, all of them. Holding people accountable for their actions and what they say and do, and the influencers too. And like I said, if you don't want to be called out for doing something, then don't do something. You know what I mean? Oh my god, Van. Are you serious? Thank you so much. That's too much. That is so much, Van. Thank you. You're the MVP for the next month. Oh my god. That's insane. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened to the tea spill video with Jaclyn. There was things behind the scenes that needs to be talked about, I think. But I don't know if it's ever going to. You know what I mean? I think some things happen behind the scenes that need to be talked about, but I don't think it's ever going to be. I think it's in the past now. Everyone's kind of just over it. That video and that series, it's pretty well known that it's not going to be a thing at this point. So, I don't know. But I know that T by Ali was working on Van. Oh my god. You are doing way too much. Way too much. But thank you. I appreciate it so much. That is amazing. Oh my god. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. um Yes, Van is out here. um but yeah, T by Ali was working on the Lisa Frank series. The T-Spill one I'm not sure about. But if you guys would like to, I'll go back to my archives. I have a whole Lime Crime video done that I did before. And I'll redo it again because I think that it does need to be talked about because Dodero is unfortunately still part of that brand. Yeah, yeah, thank you, Van. I can't put into words. Thank you so much. That's so generous. All right, guys. You brightened my entire month, Van. That honestly is way too much. I appreciate it so much. I don't want to keep you guys up too late. I know it's a weekday, but thank you guys so much for everything. The donations, Van. Again, you're the MVP for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. That was amazing. Thank you so much. That's so generous. That's too generous. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I will work on that Lime Crime video for you guys, and I'll make sure to have it up pretty soon. If there's any other brands that I've talked about in the past, Unique, I'm actually working on a new Unique video. There's been some things coming up that I'm going to be talking about in collaboration with someone. Very interesting things, and it's more focused on the financial aspects. But I'm not going to talk too much more about that because there's a lot going into it. So, I have a lot planned. I'm doing my research. But I think the first video I'm going to put out will be the Lime Crime one. Since you guys, want to talk about it. It's been, talked about for a while. Thank you, Cooj. Hell yeah. Van, do you have a channel? Christina, I'm not going to talk about Kiki. There are some things that that I know behind the scenes that I'm not going to get into at the moment, but I wouldn't put too much into Kiki's series. I'm glad someone's talking about it, but there are some things going on behind the scenes that I'm just, not into. Van, do you have a YouTube channel or anything you want to promote? Girl, do not self-promo as much as you want. Are you kidding me? I know, but still, if there's any chance that I can repay you for doing what you did, what you did just now is amazing. So if there's anything I can do to repay you in any way, shape, or form, please let me do it. Listen, if you want to start a channel, Mo, do it. YouTube is in a really weird space right now. I'll say it. It's unfortunate that people are getting they're having issues with demonetizations. A lot of the drama channels are, especially. But YouTube it's a very weird place right now for content creators. But I'll tell you one thing, it's one of the best things I've decided to do. I love doing my videos. Even if I don't make any money doing my videos, I love doing my videos. I absolutely love YouTube. I love people that I've met through YouTube, my subscribers, fellow content creators. I mean, it's a great platform if they would just fix things. It stinks. Yes, Mo, do it. Absolutely do it. Please. Please. And if anyone asks you, tell them to do it. It's fun. Just make it, it's a fun thing. As long as you go into it with a good headspace and, you don't go into it thinking, okay, I'm going to make this much money, I'm going to be this huge YouTuber. Van? Oh my god. Van. I'm honestly speechless. Oh my god, I don't know what to say. I can't thank you any more than I already have for that. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Honestly, guys, I'm speechless. Yes, Van is the MVP of this channel. Absolutely. Like, there's no. That's amazing, and I hope everything comes back to you tenfold, Van, for what you're doing. Thank you so much. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get off. I'm going to free my cousin from my child. But thank you guys for coming to my live. It's been a great live stream. I will have my video up on Lime Crime here in the Anna. Yes, she is. That's where it's going straight to too. What is it? You guys are so funny. But I'm gonna try to have my Lime Crime video up here for you guys in the next week. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel, for being here and commenting and supporting. Van, again, I can't. I hope everything comes back to you tenfold. I'm speechless at this point for everything. So thank you so much, guys. Hope you guys have a great night and a great rest of the week. I hope everyone is happy and healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.